What is going on YouTube? Hit back making. Let me move this a little bit. Okay, what is going on YouTube? Hit back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. Specifically in today's episode, as we've been talking on the channel, there's been rumors of this big drop coming from everybody that I speak to in relevance to technical analysts, as well as here on the channel, and my own personal view of the market. It seems like we're starting to see what could be a very big drop coming for immediately for Bitcoin and some other bigger cryptocurrencies. So I do want to go into discussion on those. There is some stuff that I would like to talk about with Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies, but otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way it helps out the YouTube ranking algorithm, and remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can literally DM me over there, and it can be about anything: the technical analysis, the market, currencies, cryptocurrency, fiat, anything you want, stock market. So definitely let me know over there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's video. Alright guys, so before we begin today's episode, as you guys can see clearly, 15.6k subs. We are literally gaining subs so quickly. Huge shout out to everybody subscribing to the channel. On our way to 16,000, eventually 20,000. This is going to be absolutely epic. Definitely going to be doing a giveaway at the 20,000 subscriber milestone. I think we're going to hit it fairly quickly, but I will do probably another $200 Bitcoin giveaway. So definitely make sure to smash that subscribe button if you are interested in joining. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another one before then, just at random. But also huge shout out to everybody who is joining my Patreon. We're now at almost like 105 patrons, if not on our way to 110. We're literally absolutely crushing it and killing it. So that community is growing absolutely wild, and I will talk a little bit more about what exactly is going on with that coin in the next couple of days. But as you guys can see, the past couple of videos, I've been discussing kind of how there has definitely a time limit set for cryptocurrency. Now, I do know that I've been writing 3 days, 2 days, 1 day left for the Bitcoin move. It is very difficult to pinpoint and track the exact day that we're going to break. It's a little bit harder now, but there is some certainty in regards to when this breakout could be continuing. Today, as we know, I believe is the 27th, if I check my, no, 26th. Okay, so the 26th is when, today is, and there's a good chance we'll probably break closer to, I would say, June 4th. So there is definitely some time left for the consolidation to happen within Bitcoin, if that, at most June 4th, okay? So when you see on my charts, ultimately there are tons and tons and tons of signs in relevance to when this big break can come. You can see right here, testing the resistance up there. Same exact thing happened with yesterday's video, and then there is a flat line forming on most of the 4-hour charts on these cryptocurrencies, which, if time lets us, we will discuss in today's video as well. So there is definitely a expiration date on the way the cryptos are trading, and there's a good chance you're going to be breaking down, and it's merely just a matter of time before it really happens. But ultimately, just a quick refresh of the current coin market cap. Here's what exactly is going on. I'd say we're up no more than 1%. Only Bitcoin is up 1.4, but everything else is either down or up no more than 0.4, 0.5, 0.9. Really nothing to be happy about or worried about. It's really just a very small movement, which is okay, but it is another, factor that there is consolidation happening. There is sideways movement happening. It is a signal of consolidation, sideways movement, which in turn is respectable to the fact that there's probably going to be that big volume coming. Now, let's start with XRP, because I do know I have a ton of XRP followers on the channel, and I would like to, give them a chance for me to speak about that first. But if you guys are interested in Bitcoin as well, which I know most of you are, definitely stick around later in the video right after I'm done with XRP, and we'll look at that in a second, okay? So as you guys can see clearly on this XRP pattern, there is definitely an expiration date on when this is going to break. When you look at the weekly, it almost appears like as if now, or if it even loads, I don't know. That might be a problem. All right, well, let's wait for that to load. Sorry, XRP hodlers, but let's move on to the other cryptos while it's still loading, and hopefully we can check back at the end of the video because it seems to be still teeter-tottering on this. I don't know why. I might have to refresh Chrome or something. But moving on to Bitcoin, I apologize again. We have to consider a couple of things. So with Bitcoin, there's once again, very similar to XRP, a little bit of gap left to fill before we see any sort of bigger movements. Now, there was a call that I made just a couple of days ago in reference to when we were buying in. It was going to be closer to this resistance up here, closer to being overbought. There's a good chance we're going to drop lower, retesting our bottom uptrend. That is exactly what is happening. So I bought closer to about $92 to $9,600 and then anticipated a correction to the downside, retesting our bottom support. Exactly what happened. Sold at 86, and it made a fair bit of money off of this move due to leverage trading and the opportunity to short on DueDEX, which is a great a great thing. But ultimately, I do think for the short term, which is only the next couple of days, we're probably going to head up higher. Reason being is we are setting higher lows. We have one here, two, three. Now we're hitting a fourth, and then that's probably honestly going to be it. We may have one more at most, but ultimately this support is holding very strong, and we are slowly going to reapproach the $9,300. I mean, if you guys want to play it risky and want to buy in long, set a limit order, buy in long, expecting the price to rise up to $9,300. I wouldn't be surprised. So if you are considering buying in here, waiting to sell up there, it is definitely a possibility. It is definitely a play you can do. I don't think we're going to break bearish just yet, but I do think once we get another retest of this resistance, then I believe we're going to see that bearish movement and that bearish drop to the downside. So for whatever reason, it seems like XRP just does not want to load today. I do not know why. I apologize for that, so we may have to look at XRP on another video as I figure out how to fix TradingView for causing whatever interference is happening. But in relevance, once again, to Bitcoin's movement, this sideways movement, we can then check out DueDEX. As you can see, DueDEX does have this support. We do have an uptrend on the weekly, you can see here, that does show a reversal period happening, but you can ultimately see that there is resistance up top here. Very similar to the past, when Bitcoin slowly traded up within a channel, an uptrend. Eventually, we hit that resistance and broke bearish. So there is still room for that consolidation. That's what you guys have to understand. There's no immediate flop to the downside, but there's definitely, I'd say, at most 2 weeks left, as we can see, moving to about June 6th at the peak, which could eventually then cause the reversal to happen, and we could then, reflect to the downside and correct lower. But ultimately, we are starting to pump bullish right now. We are starting to see some green, but this is just very, very, very short term. Ultimately, looking at everything from a bigger view, and I would show you the weekly, but I'm afraid, as you guys can see, things are not loading in, so I was afraid that it wouldn't show up. But ultimately, you can get the picture here. Hopefully, I'll have everything fixed by tomorrow's video. But ultimately, we have this resistance. It is holding on very strong. We're hitting the resistances over and over again, and they do not seem to hold very well, and they ultimately lead to a correction to the downside. So that is what I truly believe is going to happen to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies. They're not going to hold support, and they are going to reverse to the downside. Ooh, now XRP wants to load, and that's still a great thing. But so this is what I was referring to as well in XRP, now that it's loaded in, which is awesome. You can see ultimately that there is just a small amount of sideways movement left for XRP, very similar to Bitcoin, as there is only a small amount of movement left in the charts. To give you an exact date range, we could assume there's going to be some sort of movement in about 14 weeks. Honestly, maybe even a little bit earlier, or less than 2 weeks before we see some sort of major movement. And this is not going to be the small movements that we've been seeing. Even this is small. Ultimately, it's going to be the deciding factor as to whether or not we're going to break extremely bullish to the outside, shoot up to $12,000, or if we're going to start to lead the path in for the next 3 months of bear market and slowly creep down to about $5,500, which could ultimately be very quickly, as you can see back in our last movement before we had a 3-month bull run. There's definitely going to be a huge chance that we could short this all the way down to about $5,100. Now, for those of you interested in learning my specific trades and what I'm going to be doing here and what I'm going to be doing here, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon. There is a link in the description if you guys are interested in learning how it is that I trade, what it is that I trade on all the cryptocurrencies, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, as well as my stop losses, my shorts, my limit orders, market orders, and everything under the sun. If you're interested in learning that and copying what I'm doing and seeing it, definitely join that Patreon group that we have. Not only that, it's a massive community of over 100 people now that have these similar interests as you, and the best way to learn is to learn from people that also enjoy your hobby. So consider that. The link is in the description. Also consider DueDEX. We've been using DueDEX to short the market. As of right now, you guys may even consider, buying long leverage trading. This price all the way up to potentially about $9,600 to $9,700 on the short term, and then obviously getting out very quickly, because it is definitely a riskier trade to do that, to buy now and sell off closer to $9,600. But ultimately, I do think it's going to short a reversal or start a reversal, and that's when we're going to short. I showed you guys how to short many videos before. We just literally had a short position opened, and if you guys are interested in shorting cryptocurrency, which is very difficult to find on other exchanges, especially because this is definitely a beginner website, it's very easy to understand. Most websites are very difficult even for me to figure out soon. Definitely check this website out as well. The link is in the description. They are also offering up to a $70 sign up bonus, which is honestly a great thing, so make sure to check that out. And now in regards to what I was anticipating, when you look at, and I'm afraid to click 4 hour, but let's see, as expected, it's not going to load. But what I'm referring to, and you can see it here even with the screen loading, the fact that Ethereum is literally just trading out sideways. There's definitely some sort of resistance support on the bottom, resistance at the top, and we're literally just teeter-tottering above our middle moving average, getting rejected from the MACD. As you can see down there, the RSI is getting flatlined out at the 50 RSI level, and that is another great signal that there is going to be some movement coming, and there's going to be some movement coming soon. Lastly, Litecoin also trading out fairly flatlined, hasn't really broken between 41 and I'd say 44 in price in a very long time. Also needs its consolidation, but I do think the market is leaning towards bearish, so definitely make sure to have one eye on the market. But that is going to wrap up today's video, guys. I apologize for the inconveniences of everything loading in now. If you have any questions, comments, or responses in regards to maybe even why this is not loading in right, definitely leave a comment down below. Otherwise, if you're new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.